Yo, what is up? This is iGuru back with Tier 10 War Games, and this is an event that goes up every Sunday on the Asian server. I'm sure it's the same with the European or NA servers or Russian servers. Every Sunday, basically, you're playing strongholds or advances. The matchmaker matches you with another team, and you play a series of games, 10v10 tier 10s, and the winner actually takes home a bunch of gold. This gold is really good because it distributes the gold evenly to all the players. And immediately right now we are attacking Abbey, going right down the middle, and we're going to talk a little bit about strategies and what we're up to here, so that you get an idea of why we do what we do and why we bring the tanks that we bring. Now, as you can see, the lineup, we have used a bunch of 113s as well. Well, not a bunch, two 113s. And the reason why we bring 113s in the era of 5As, it's because the 113 does something the 5A does not, which is it reloads 1 second quicker, nearly 1 second quicker than a 5A, and it has a slightly better dispersion, which means it can snipe a little bit better at a distance. So now here we are at the Abbey map. We are waiting for the conquerors to arrive before we push. We are taking refuge at this corner here because if you notice, the enemy has an STRV in their lineup, so we know that their STRVs are going to be somewhere at the base, which is he's already spotted. So we're going to send a bunch of bad chats over on the A line to try to outplay that STRV, spot him, force him off the camel, make him drop down or make him run over to the east side, and then we're going to bomb rush their entire team on the 7-8 line, I guess. Now once again, we've brought two 113s instead of the 5A, and this is by request. Although the 5A does 50 more damage, 50 more alpha damage than the 113, once again, like I said, the 113 fulfills a different kind of role. Bringing some variation to your team does help you. As you can see, my aim is a lot better than the 5A, even though I didn't penetrate there, because I think I only had the turret. And it looks like that 103 has dropped down, which means the bad chats along the AB line has done its job by basically forcing that 103, the STRV, to drop down from that bush because he was spotted. And this is going to give us an opportunity to push forward here and flank those heavies that are down the 7-8 line on the Abbey, next to the Abbey, I would say. So the call has come to push, which is what we're going to do right about now. And we're going to use the airstrikes on the heavies that are camping the corner. We're just going to wear down the HP a little bit if we possibly can. I don't think we were that successful. But if you notice that STRV that was camped around the corner, he's already dropped down, which means it's safe for us to push forward now, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to flank around. I'm going to see that STRV. I'm going to put a shot into him. He's giving me his side, which means I'm pretty safe from him. Now the bad chats are going to rush down and engage. And while they're doing that, shooting these heavies here as well, I'm going to go in and give a few shots. I've taken 2 big hits. I need my guys to take the hits for me and go forward. The Conqueror is really good for this because it's also, not only does it have the armor, if it side scrapes well, it can bounce. If you shoot the turret, it will absorb. Now I've taken some hits, so that's why I'm hanging back and trying to save my HP. but I'm being focused down, and rightfully so. So I will try to duck behind and try to save my HP if possible. We do have a substantial lead and we're probably going to win this, but that doesn't mean I need to YOLO or throw away my HP. I'm going to see if I can get a shot on these guys. I'm going to push up while trying not to expose myself too much. See if I can use the terrain here to get some cover. But I'm spotted by that chat. He's pre-aimed and he took me out. I managed to duck from the 907 that was sniping from our base, but the bad chat was totally waiting for us. And we've got this in the bag basically. It's just a matter of cleaning up. So the Conqueror with the high HP can take the hit, go forward and finish off the rest of them. While there's a 907 remaining in our base, they're going to turn around and try and polish off that 907. And that would conclude the game. So that was a typical game for us. We won it quite convincingly, and not because we are all fantastically good players or something like that. It is a combination of our experience and skill, but also our caller's plan and what he has in mind, how he envisions the game. He is a very experienced caller and he does well for our clan, and we win more often than we lose. So on the next map we move on to what's this called again? I forgot the name. That's right, this is Arctic region and we are attacking from the south. Now the way war games works is when you win a game, the next game the enemy team that you're facing will be defending, which means they are defending from north spawn, and a draw for them is good enough for a win. So the onus is on the winning team to attack and continue that winning streak. If you don't, if we don't win this game, then it's back to they would win it and it would be a 1-all draw. So the onus is on us to attack, which is why we bring the mouses, because we need to push, and we can push with the amount of HP that we have. So the idea is they're going to try and secure the west side, while the mouses and the conquerors will try to push down from the south and towards the east, and the enemy will probably be camping behind your base where they can hull down. As you can see, they've brought a couple of conquerors, a Type 5 heavy. No doubt they're going to be sitting hull down and trying to hold that base for the duration of the 10 minutes that it takes. That's right, this is a 10-minute game, and that's how it works for this this mode of play. Now as we're pushing up, we have confirmed that they are camping at the base, and the call is going to be for the mouses to turn around and push right from the middle, while the conquerors push from where they are now on the southeastern slope. The conquerors can actually have a very good hull down position here, and they can hold while we push in with our armor. Now in all likelihood it is most probable that the enemy have a bunch of heavies that are camping on the camping at their base and on the A line, which is right on the ridge of the I would say the Alpha 5, Alpha 4, A4, A5, and they're going to be sniping and defending from that position as well. So our caller has recognized that they're basically camping there, and they're not going to push us. It's going to be up to us to push into them, which is exactly what we're going to do, because we don't have any other choice. If we want to win, we need to either cap them out or kill them. Any kind of draw is a win for them. So we need to push forward. Now if you're wondering why my mouse looks kind of different, this is a skin that I downloaded, and it's actually historically correct. I've seen pictures of this or some YouTube videos on the way the mouse has been modeled this way, with the huge gas tank at the back. Now this skin comes default with the brown camo, or it's not desert camo, but this is the German color. So if you don't have any camo on it, it will be default this color. And those guys in the front, they have the winter camo on. Now as you can see, we're being shot from the A4, A5 area, so that's where they're defending from. I've bounced off the, was that the 5A? Well, anyway, we've made it far enough for us to push their base, which is exactly what we're going to do. So they have the 5As and the Conquerors, which will be completely held out at the back. I've bounced a couple of shots, one from the 907 and the other from the back chat. Our guys in front here have taken a couple of hits, which means I'm the guy that's going to be in the front. The Conqueror took a hit at me, but I bounced that. That was quite lucky. He actually had a good shot on me, a flat shot. Now I can't do anything with these Conquerors because they are held down, and there's no point even in me trying to shoot them. I could try to shoot the cupola of the 113 and the 5A, but I don't want to even waste my time on the Conquerors. I'm gonna try and angle against these two guys, but they're using the airstrikes on us. I'm gonna try and angle against this Conqueror and the 5A. I've got tracked. My repair kit is burned, so just let me put in a shot into the Type 5. I'm gonna use my HP and push forward, which is the orders that I have from the commander. Use up our HP. What we're going to do is we need to kill these guys as quickly as possible, and once that is done, we are going to sit on the cap and force them to come back to defend the cap, or we were going to cap them out. Now it's worth a shot to try and shoot that 113, but it was not going to be easy. I did manage to get a shot on him, so that's a good thing. Now I'm angling against the Type 5 and the other Chinese heavy tank here. Now here's my mistake. I shouldn't have tried to shoot this guy. I should have shot the Type 5 or the 5A. Instead I wasted my shot there, but nevertheless we're still going to have the advantage here because we're gonna be able to kill everything that's at their base, and we're going to try and sit in the cap and force them to come back to reset. But they've got other ideas. What they want to do is try to kill off everything on the west side and do a fast cap themselves. But we were wise to that, and we have already initiated our cap. And here they are trying to block this bad chat from returning to base to defend, to reset. Nevertheless, we already have 3 on the cap, which means we're going to cap them out regardless of whether this bad chat manages to reset them on the cap or not. So it's not going to matter anymore. So GG, that was a quick game, and that was really successful on our part. We executed our plan really well, so that was a good result for us. So let's move on to the next game. Next up, we're going to be in Red Char, and the enemy has brought a bunch of Conquerors, and we are rolling with a bunch of 5As and 2 Conquerors. Now the plan is for us to push down the middle the 5As are going to be together, while the two conquerors are going to take the high ground, while the bad chats are going to clear the east side. So we're basically split into three groups here, but the whole idea is the 5As are going to be the main pushing force, and since they showed up with a bunch of conquerors, we know exactly what they're going to do. They are going to play probably around the Delta 3, Delta 4, D4, D5, which is exactly where they're going to be. And we're going to continue pushing up this way, and we're going to light them up shortly. I made a terminal mistake here by flanking around the side and not having the firepower to take them on. I followed this guy here, and initially I thought that was a good idea, and it actually was a good idea. If I took one shot and backed off, it would have been great, but my mistake was trying to get off more than one shot and trying to stay here and overstay my welcome on this position. Here the conquerors are going to completely own me because they have the ridge, they have the gun depression, they have the reload on me, and I completely screwed up, and I'm the first person that died on the team. So that was GG for me, game over. But it's a good job that the 5As, the rest of the 5As managed to pull back, so they don't take as much damage as they should have, while the light tanks, well not the light tanks, the bad chats are on the K line managing to snipe those conquerors. Well, they couldn't save me, but they managed to snipe across. And the conquerors on our side that were on the high ground just push over and farm those enemy conquerors from the back. So essentially we have the crossfire on them. They did have the initial advantage, but I think they stayed static for too long in that spot. What they could have executed, well, the enemy, I mean, what they could have done better was completely push over to the other side and eliminate and focus fire down those 5As before turning around and engaging our conquerors. And I think they would have done better that way. Instead, they stayed on this side of the map, where they essentially exactly where they were, and our medium tanks are basically farming them from the K line and helping out our heavies, supporting them from the distance. And there's nothing those conquerors can do because they would have to turn their turrets 180 degrees to engage these medium tanks here on the side. And by the way, this medium tank is actually an object 140, but I've got the Milky Man T64 skin, which is a War Thunder import. And by the way, those flaps are retractable on my tank, on my own model, but on the rest of my teammates, they remain where they are in the open position. These are the heat defeating shields. What they do is they detonate the heat shells before they, well, not heat shells, some kind of sable rounds that need to detonate before they penetrate the interior of the tank. So that's what those flaps are for anyway. So let's go on to the next map. And finally, the last map for today is on Tundra. And I'm rolling in the T57 Heavy. We're supposed to have 3, but for some reason we messed it up and didn't have enough time to select tanks. So we're rolling with 257 Heavies. We're going to go down the ditch and try to support the team from the river. We're going to go down into the water, which, to be honest with you, is not a good place for T57 Heavies because here's a good opportunity for me here. But anyway, if I did try to take those shots, it was going to be into the heat shields of the Super Conqueror, which might have not worked out for us. Now we've spotted them driving across to the west side, which means I had the idea of going back to our base and defending it from the cap circle, but I was called to follow the other 57 heavy and go up the waters from the water. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now as our heavies approach their base, we're going to realize that they have completed, the enemy team has completely relocated to the west side of the map, which means it is possible that they're going to be flanking all the way from the west and down south and probably wrap around us and try to cap us out or try to hit us from the back. That's one of the plays that is possible from the enemy team. We know this because our heavies are already basically at their base and there's not much resistance except from the north side, so we know they're going to be all the way on the west and the south side. Now I decided not to poke up here and join the other 57 to shoot because one, there isn't enough space here, and two, it might be more worthwhile for me to stay hidden for the time being. So I'm going to stay below this ridge so that I'm not unspotted. One of two things is going to happen. Those medium tanks could rush this 57 heavy, which means I could surprise them because I'm here and they don't know it yet. And it looks like they might have left because our back chats and our medium tanks are rushing down the K line to try to engage their medium tanks, and they're already not there. So that is our cue to push forward and try to get over and intercept those medium tanks or those medium tanks, bad chats and light tanks running away. They've already made it all the way to the west side, which means it's an opportunity for us to go up that 3 line. This is my favorite line, going up the water, up in 3 line. I love pushing up this 3 line. Instead of going with this other 57 that I am paired with, I've asked permission from the commander, and I've decided to go down this water. This is the favorite strongholds line. Every time I play the strongholds tier 6, I like going up this 3 line. But I don't want to be alone and commit fully right here. So what I'm going to do is just sit here and wait. Now as you can see, I'm all by myself right here. So if I pushed in alone, it won't be a good idea. I could possibly melt very quickly. Well, I could shoot off 4 shells, but while I'm reloading, I'm most probably going to get raped and die. So instead what I'm going to do here is pull back, because I can see some movement coming from their medium tanks. They are pushing down the 2-3 line, and it's possible that they're going to try and flank around and engage that my other 57 on the 1 line. So there, I caught him there. I'm going to track him, and that was a very well timed shot. I managed to track him and finish him off. I have 1 more shell, but I decide to do the reload and back off while I do that. So just make sure that I have enough time to reload before I join in the fray again. And I time my reload. My reload is almost ready. It's time for me to go. The other medium tank is going to pull up next to me soon, and with him next to me, now I have the full confidence to go up and engage, because no matter what happens, I'm going to have a little bit of backup somewhat. I'm going to try and stay unspotted from this medium tank which was driving up so that I can surprise them, and sure enough I managed to catch this matchup off guard. Now although my first shell just went straight into his tracks, but I killed him on my second shot. Kind of wasted that 1 shot into his tracks, but hey, these things happen. So just like that, and we are already up 8 tanks, just 2 to kill. I decide that I'm not gonna bother to reload because I'm not gonna have enough time to reload and finish off the sky. And besides, I can probably finish this off the sky in 1 or 2 shells. And here we go, finish him off. He's done. And just like that, we are done. 4 games in a row, we finish it off, which means we took this War Games Advance 4 games in a row, which is gonna net us some nice clean victory and a bunch of gold. I did do some 2000 damage or whatever.
Thank you.
And that was GG, one of our best performances. Obviously, we don't get to win 4 in a row very often, but when we do, it's kind of special. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this edition of War Games. We do this every Sunday. Join a clan, get yourself involved in War Games, because when you win, it pays off. You can make somewhere between 700 to 1000 gold every weekend just by participating in this. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.